Hi, welcome to Canto Roboflow training movie. In this movie today we will talk about working with duplicates of files being cataloged. In the Cumulus client, when you are cataloging files, there are a few parameters or settings that influence the behavior of the cataloging process. If you select a file in Cumulus, and I don't have the file here, let's go to another folder where I do have the file. Here, when I catalog a file here, and I'm using an asset handling set, it will catalog the file. This catalog works with the vault. Now, if you have in your asset handling set defined that when cataloging that he should add and update, that means that he will check if the record already exists in Cumulus. And same here, skip duplicates means that it will not even look for them if you say catalog duplicates. So this is an extra procedure. This extra procedure is normally just based on the file name. So it will look for the file in the same folder. And if you're trying to catalog the file in the same folder another time, it will ignore it. You can improve or extend the functionality to not only having that procedure from the client from the same folder, but from any folder. So if the same file even is renamed but cataloged again, and Cumulus can calculate a unique identifier or a unique MD5 key for it. It's called the Asset Content Identifier. If you want this extra functionality, then you need to add this field to your catalog before you catalog the files, or if you have already cataloged the files, you need to update the records. If that field is present, there is another thing to set, but then you can add additional behavior. You need to make sure that you go to your client.xml of your computer, and you have to do that on all clients in that case in your company if you want that same behavior, and you have to go to users, the username, app data, roaming, Canto Cumulus client. Don't confuse the client.xml that is in the client folder of the installation of the Cumulus client. Since Cumulus 10, I think, this was replaced by a file in your user roaming app data folder. And so you have there a client.xml. You need to add to your client.xml this line, and then you will have the extra check where it will check for duplicates on the content, and it will identify that content by that Asset Content Identifier. So it will use this key that it calculates from the content to know if we're talking about the same file. That means if I now catalog the same file but from a different folder, it will not catalog it as a second time. If you don't have that parameter in your client.xml, it will just catalog the file a second time because it's not in the same folder. This exact same behavior can be obtained when using Roboflow. In that case, you will have to go to the Roboflow installation folder, conf client.xml, and you have to add that same line. And make sure that afterwards you restart Roboflow. If now I catalog the file, it will not catalog the duplicate. So if I delete, and I say delete record only, and I go here and I copy this file, I have a drop folder in my workflow. Here it is. And if I now go to my Cumulus workflow, Roboflow workflow. I created a hot folder workflow, so whatever file is in your drop folder will be processed. And what I'm doing is I open the catalog, I catalog the file, and I close the catalog. So nothing special. So let me do that. I'm going to start the workflow. So the workflow should now not catalog the file. So if we have a look, the first time was the first record, it should catalog the file. Now we have one new record in the catalog, and there it is. If this file comes in a second time, somebody drops in the drop folder that file again, then it will automatically not catalog the file. So I'm here it is. If I go here and I say start, show location. So what happens is it says asset ignored but found. So the advantage is that it has not cataloged the file, but it has given you the record. So if you have any scripting in your workflow, the next instruction will still have the record object. It will have done a search for that particular file, and it will have found that particular file. So that's what it does. Now, this is an example where we are working with vaulted assets. If I repeat this same procedure with a catalog without a vault, if I do this without a vault, then you have to make sure that in your workflow you have that additional copy to a new location, because the standard functionality of a workflow, a hot folder workflow, is to delete the file. And so I'm going to disable the vault. I'm going to say as set in asset handling set, just like that. So if I copy a file, Control C, and paste it here, I can say start the workflow. It's the first file, so it will catalog it as new. But if I do this and just this, you will have a record, but it will point to your drop folder and the file is no longer there. It has deleted the file. So this is not the right way to handle a hot folder. In a hot folder, you should copy it to another location. So what we can do here is we can say that we are having a new location. So let's, as an example, just say file folder. It's a quick and dirty way of creating a folder. So I can say, let's take the same, that's C temp. So I'm going to say in C : /temp. I'm going to target. That's my target folder. I'm going to say that it can create it if it doesn't exist, and we leave it at here. Then in the next instruction, new, we are going to do, and I even forgot something. I want it automatically also to create the subfolders in which the file might be dropped. So I'm saying hot subfolder, and then it will automatically create that. And then I'm saying new, I'm doing a file folder, and I'm going to copy the file. So it's the hot file that I'm going to copy. I want that target folder. I copy the file and I'm calling it the copied file. And then here I'm cataloging the copied file and not the hot file. Just like that. So here, let's have a look. I'm Control C, looking in my catalog, it's empty, that's good. So now going to the other folder, Control V. And if I now run the workflow start, show log, it says it has cataloged the file. And the location, here is show location, is now in that target folder. So here's the file. So of course, if I drop in exactly the same file in the same folder, copies to the same location, that's not really a big test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a subfolder. I'm going to say sub test. And I'm going to say paste. And now, if we start the workflow, show location, sorry, show log. Oh, did I click on the, yeah, I did click on the show log. There were no files to process, he says. Did I maybe copy it to the wrong folder? No. Go again, start. Show log. Yeah. Okay. Here, that's an invalid parameter, of course. Start. Show log. And now you can see that this file was ignored because it finds the record already. So that's how you can avoid getting duplicates. It only still has one record, so the Cumulus process using either the client or Roboflow is exactly the same, but you have to make sure that the Asset Content Identifier, of course, is part of your catalog, and you have to make sure that in the client.xml of Roboflow, for the Roboflow behavior, has this particular parameter. Thank you for joining another Canto Roboflow training movie, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.